In the unified divine realm, the goddess of healing called Rista is chosen to save a difficulty level S world from the demon lord. The S difficulty ranking is so challenging that even those veteran gods could have trouble saving it, and that is why she is upset. Back in her room, she is going through a list of all the people she filtered for her hero candidates. By chance, she gets the stats of one called Seiya blown into her face. Checking out his stats, she realizes that they are amazing. Deciding that he is definitely the best choice, she proceeds to summon him. The moment he appears, Rista is enamored by his looks, but she tries to push lewd thoughts away, as love between mortals and gods is forbidden. After introducing herself and explaining the situation to Seiya, Rista gets a very different response from the one she was expecting. Instead of going along with her narrative, he bombards her with questions, one of them being why she does not save the world herself as she is a goddess. Rista tells him that gods are not allowed to meddle too much into the mortal worlds, and by rules mortals are the ones in charge of solving their problems. Afterwards, Rista opens a portal to their designated world, but once more Seiya surprises her by refusing to go. Instead, he insists that going blindly into a dangerous world is stupid, and that he has to train first in order to prepare himself. Without wasting any time, Seiya starts working out in front of her. It is then that Rista realizes she overlooked his personality trait, which stated that he was impossibly cautious. Rista leaves him to train in an empty house near her place before going to complain about him to her friend called Ariadoa, the goddess of the seal. Ariadoa suggests she tries to understand and befriend him, as mortals are different from gods, who are essentially immortal, noting that it is probably for the best to prepare as much as possible when facing an S difficulty challenge. After a few days of training, Seiya states that he is prepared enough. Rista takes a look at his stats and is impressed how much he gained just from working out. Afterwards, she opens the portal once again. This time the two of them venture through and find themselves in Geabrande, the world they are supposed to save. Spotting a town nearby, the pair ventures into it. Rista gets annoyed at Seiya as he views every villager as a possible concealed enemy, mistrusting everyone and everything. It is then that they meet a little girl named Nina, who gives them directions around town. After stocking up on an unreasonably large amount of supplies, Seiya and Rista venture out into the field, where they confront their first monster, a slime. Seiya goes way overboard when fighting the slime, absolutely obliterating it and the ground it stood on, just to be sure it is truly gone. Before the pair can proceed further, one of the 4 heavenly kings that serve the demon lord appears. A female demon named Chaos Meschina. It is clear that she is very powerful, and Rista is shocked as to why she would be in such a remote and safe place. Chaos explains how the demon lord sensed that a hero was summoned, so he began anticipating where the hero would appear. It just happens to be that she chose this remote time to stake out. Before Rista can suggest a course of action to Seiya, she realizes he already began running away. In a panic spread, she follows after, and the two of them run away from Chaos. Rista opens a portal back to the divine realm, and they use it to successfully get away from Chaos. Seiya immediately gets back to working out in order to get stronger. 2 days pass, and Rista gets worried about what Chaos might be up to. Scrying upon the town where they were, she spots Chaos executing the villagers for every 10 minutes that the hero does not show up. Rista shows that to Seiya, but he insists that he is not ready yet, so he ends up taking full advantage of the slower time flow in the divine realm in order to get more time to train. Rista complains, calling him a coward and not a hero, as no hero would let people suffer when he could try to help them instead. Seiya tells her that if he dies, everyone on that world will die anyway, so it is best to be properly prepared if he is to save the world. Rista watches through the scrying orb as Nina's father is about to get killed, but Seiya grabs his armor and weapon, declaring that he is perfectly prepared now. Rista takes a look at Seiya's stats and is yet again impressed by the progress he made so quickly. They use Rista's portal and prevent Nina's father from dying. Seiya engages Chaos, and from the start it is clear that Seiya is stronger, but Chaos powers up. Even though Chaos' stats seem higher than Seiya's, he still holds the upper hand. Chaos realizes just how strong Seiya is and transforms into her final form, becoming the Greater Demon. Even though the Greater Demon is going all out against Seiya, he still has the upper hand. Rista is perplexed by that and forcefully digs deeper into analyzing Seiya's stats. She manages to break through the fake-out he set up, and taking a glance at his true stats is amazed to see how vastly stronger they are compared to what she saw beforehand. Showing his true powers, Seiya brings the Greater Demon down. Townsfolk celebrate and start expressing their gratitude, but Seiya is not done yet. He gathers all the remains of the defeated demon and starts blasting them away with his powerful magic, which results in half of the town burning down. Ristarte is completely shocked by his behavior and she starts giving him a lecture, asking him to be more heroic. Seiya's attitude remains unchanged, and he insists they return back to the Divine Realm so he could train some more. While Seiya is training, Ristarte is spending time with Ariadoa. Ristarte is impressed by Ariadoa's amazing track record of saving 300 worlds. It is then that Seiya bursts into their room, stating how he is not making as much progress as he did before with his workout. Ariadoa seems very surprised to see him, but quickly regains her composure, and once Seiya asks who she is, introduces herself properly. Then she instructs him to go train with other gods if he would like to get even stronger without fighting monsters. They visit Cerseus, the Divine Blade, and he agrees to train Seiya, warning him that the training will be very tough. A few days pass and Ristarte notices that Cerseus' mood is getting worse. She pressures him to say what is wrong, and it turns out that Seiya's progress is so astounding that Cerseus can no longer win against him. Constantly losing to Seiya makes him feel so hopeless that he considers quitting as the Divine Blade and focus on something else instead. The goddess called Ishtar summons Ristarte and instructs her to go with Seiya to the next town at once. There are important allies they need to save there who will aid them in their quest. Ristarte explains the situation to Seiya and he agrees to go, stating that he is perfectly ready. Arriving to their destination, they learn that the town is in danger from a horde of undead that is headed their way. That makes Seiya stock up on as much holy water as Ristarte allowed him to buy. The pair head to the town church to find their allies, and there they meet Alulu and Mash, two dragonkin descendants, as well as a priest and a nun. Being ever suspicious, Seiya pours some holy water onto the priest, who suddenly reacts to it and transforms into his undead form. Seiya quickly takes him out before destroying the whole church while getting rid of his remains. Alulu and Mash are completely shocked by Seiya's behavior, but they still request to accompany him on his quest. After checking out their stats, he quickly declares that he has no need for them. The town guards arrive, warning them about the approaching undead. Seiya decides to go and face them, ordering the guards as well as Mash and Alulu to stay behind and defend the town. Mash is very upset at the way Seiya dismissed them, so he refuses to do his bidding. Seiya and Ristarte fly off quickly towards the undead horde, and Seiya uses the most devastating spell yet to completely wipe them out in record time. 2 days later, Alulu seeks out Ristarte, telling her that Mash has been missing. Without any more leads, they go to Seiya, who shows them how he is able to use his newly acquired ability to synthesize items. As he is explaining his ability, a mirror gets delivered to his room. The mirror turns out to be a form of magical communication, showing Mash gagged and injured in a dark room next to an undead. The undead introduces himself as one of the 4 heavenly kings, Def Magla. He states how he was toying with Mash for a while, but has now grown tired of him and will kill him. Seiya prevents that from happening by using a dimensional slash ability that slashes through and severs Def Magla's hand. Utilizing Ristarte's portal, they shift to the Divine Realm in order to get some time before he kills Mash. They rush to Ishtar, asking her to locate where Mash is and open a portal nearby so they can save him. Using her powers, Ishtar quickly locates Mash and opens a portal for them. Due to the different flow of time, Def Magla did not even have time to recover from his injury, so when Ristarte and Seiya appear next to him, he is caught off guard. Ristarte rushes to Mash and heals him, while Seiya attacks Def Magla. Def Magla then brings forth a nearly invincible monster he created. However, it appears that Seiya was well prepared for a creature like that, crafting all sorts of magical equipment to help him combo effects on it that allows him to overcome its defenses, destroying it and Def Magla together. Mash is astounded by how powerful Seiya is, since this was the first time he had seen him in real action. Seiya decides to allow Mash and Alulu to come along with him after all, albeit working as his baggage carriers. Even so, the two are overjoyed at the opportunity to help him since he saved Mash. They tell him about an old prophecy where he will get the mightiest weapon to defeat the Demon Lord if he comes with them to the Dragon Den. Of course, Seiya first decides to head back to the Divine Realm in order to train some more. There he gets Cerseus to train Mash, who is suddenly back in high spirits since his new student is not overwhelmingly strong like Seiya. Afterwards, he brings Alulu to the goddess of fire, Hestiaka, to train her in magic. While Ristarte and Seiya wander around the Divine Realm in search for someone to train him, they bump into the mightiest goddess around, Valkyrie. Valkyrie harasses Ristarte before getting into a heated argument with Seiya. Luckily, Ariadoa shows up and de-escalates the situation. She then directs Seiya and Ristarte to the goddess of war, Adanella, who agrees to train Seiya. Days pass and training goes well for Seiya and Mash, but Alulu did not grow much stronger. Before leaving the Divine Realm, Adanella became infatuated by Seiya over the course of their training, so she prepares a gift for him. It is a lovely cake, and while handing it to him, she confesses her love, asking to be allowed to accompany him. However, Seiya straight up refuses her and her cake, leaving the divine realm without her, which causes her to go into a frenzy and trash everything around her. Back on Geabrande, Seiya and his party head towards the dragon den. Rista is curious how powerful Seiya has become, so she tries to take a peek and scan his stats, but she is unable to overcome his defenses. Arriving there, they meet the Dragonutes, who are a race of dragon and human hybrids. They meet their leader called Levi and learn about the role that Alulu is supposed to play, namely she is destined to offer up her life and become the sword that cuts down the demon lord. Hey, thank you for staying all the way till the end. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. It takes only a second, but it means everything to us. Have a great day and see you in the next video.